Hello everyone, how you doing? Okay, this is just a quick check-in because I've managed to do a couple of things this month, and just want to also catch up with a couple of different bits and pieces, and I'll get right onto it this month. The very first thing I did was go and get a new exhaust put on, another one from SP Engineering, so let's head over there now. Hi everyone, right then, I'm back here at SP Engineering because I don't even remember me saying, I said there was another exhaust I wanted us to try and that I promised SP that we would try, which is the Diabolus. And if I'm right, it comes with a different Y-piece, so it's not the same Y-piece as I have on now, but it is a different one. Now I quite like this, I really like this exhaust. I quite like the flat look of it, because it's kind of a bit draggy and silly, and you know, and I don't mean drag in that sense, but you know, drag racing kind of sense. I like that kind of flat kind of thing on this bike, but I have some other alternatives, and there are some really good ones. But anyway, the boys are going to swap this over, put the new Diabolus on, and I'll find out exactly what the difference is between that and the rest of them. Actually, whilst we wait for Dave to come out, let's talk about a couple of other things. One, I've noticed on this bike the chain tension is really important. If it's not absolutely bang on, then quite often the gear change can get a little tiny bit sloppy. Luckily the quick shifter still works pretty well, but I have noticed if it's out by even a little bit, can get a bit notchy. Once the chain's tightened to correct, so about an inch either way, it's absolutely fine. And but it's funny, some bikes are like this, some aren't. Obviously the chain gets quite a good stretch on this. I've had many bikes over the past few years. I mean, the Panigale I ran for 2 years, and it didn't even need its chain tightened for about 14 months. It was never known anything like it. It's ridiculous. But I've since had another couple of bikes where the chains just seem to last ages without having to adjust them. But yeah, this one's getting a bit of a battering. So, oh, now then, here's Mr. Dave. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the coffee, Mr. Dave. Right, Mr. Dave.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so we are putting the Diabolus on, right?
We certainly are, yes.
Now then, tell me the differences between the Diabolus and, because the Y-piece is different, isn't it?
Yep, so what we're going to do with this one is we've got a different wide pipe. It's a little bit shorter. It enables us to fit a slightly larger can on, being our premium brand, the Diabolus, our new range.
Okay.
The way the previous one was designed was more of a cat replacement pipe. Therefore it gives you the option to use other brands of exhaust as well as our brand, and this will be specific, this new pipe will be specific to our product.
So Diabolus only can basically on this?
It will be, no, it will be a range of cans.
Oh, sorry, no, what I mean is though, you can't put like an Akrapovic on this one, you'd have to have the other Y-piece for that.
No, that's right, yes,
right,
it would be our product.
But both are available?
Yes.
Awesome. And how much is the new Y-piece and Diabolus?
To be disclosed.
To be decided?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still in early stages at the moment, hence you coming in today for the fitting up. So it will be going live in the next couple of weeks.
Awesome. See, from the horse's mouth. Have you noticed? Beards are in, apparently. Okay then, it's done. You ready? The Diabolus is on. Here we go. So as you can see, it's got a new link pipe, new Y-piece, which is shorter than the other. Does away with the holding bracket there. It's actually held on directly to that now. So the can is a little bit tucked in and a lot neater, I would say. Now then, you ready to start it up? Do the honours?
Let's go for it.
Happy with that, Dave?
Definitely happy, yes.
Yeah. And so, how many weeks before? Where are we now? It's 30th of September.
Yeah, we would anticipate on them being available by the end of October.
Oh right, perfect. So there's another option for you people. and the next thing we're going to do is sound check this, and when I get back to the office I'll let you know how much this one makes compared to the other one. So hooray. Right then, I've got to say I like it. Let's have a closer look. You know, it's shorter. Now, the most amazing thing about this for me is, even though the Y piece is shorter, the can is a bit longer than the other one, but the entire unit is a lot shorter, but it's actually quieter than the one before. Now then, finally got round to doing the doing the sound checks. Now, the can we had before was obviously fairly raughty, and we discovered that at idle it was making about 100 decibels, 101 decibels. At 4,000 to 5,000 RPM it was making a few more than that. It was kind of around the 105, 106. At 10,000 RPM, between 9 and 10,000 RPM, it was doing about 122. So yeah, it was pretty loud. Now this one, at this new one here, at idle, it's actually doing about 98, and about 102, 103 kind of through the mid-range, and the most we saw out of it was 116. Now that's quite a big difference. Sound is weird. It's not just like one up. It's a weird kind of exponential thing with sound. So 1 decibel more was actually not just a little bit louder, it's a crap load louder. So the difference between 116 decibels, which I've got now, and 122 is phenomenal. And it was weird because when I was first riding it, I was just realising about just how it's just like, God, this is actually quite quiet, but it still pops and bangs, it still sounds good. There are some initial riding impressions as well I've got of it, and that's it. Instantly it feels like it wants to wheelie just a bit quicker now than before. It's almost like it's moved the power down a little bit. I'll find out. I'll get it on the dyno at some point and find out. But yeah, it made me laugh. I was quite surprised. We didn't expect that at all. Even the guys at SP thought it might be louder. But I think it's just the longer can. I think it's the longer can that does it. So what else this month? I think when I was at SP I already mentioned about the chain, the chassis upgrades, the static suspension setup we did last time round is still, it's mega, and I was really pleased to see so many people reply saying they tried the same settings and also liked them. The truth of the matter, we always tend to test bikes just out the crate as they are, because the truth is 99 out of 100 people will never ever touch their suspension, and that's kind of alright, because I just get used to bikes riding as they are. It's only if I'm on track on something for a long time that I tend to have a fiddle, and with this I'm really pleased we made the changes. But having said that, that was just a base setup. Now, since having that done, I think I said last time that the traction control cuts in a bit more. It cuts in a little bit more in wheelies now, which it never used to before. But before, the rear was really low and it was basically just over gripped to buggery. So now every now and then it kind of kicks in a bit, which is a bit annoying. So I've just taken to turning it off most of the time, to be honest with you, and then that doesn't get in the way of anything. Again, it's probably once out of every 10 times, so it's not all the time, but there doesn't seem to be some consistency. And I think it's obviously the change in the preload and the sag in the rear that's done this. But I can live with it, and it's still well gripped enough that I don't really need the traction control. So yeah, so really everyone is a winner. Now, one more thing I wanted to talk about is we all love the MT-10 dash. There it is. It's not quite as Gucci as the, there she is. Not quite as Gucci as the R1 one, obviously. However, whilst doing something else for the magazine, I came across this. Now, this is an AIM MMX or MX something Strada, and oh, it looks so nice. Now, I'm usually only doing modifications just to make this a bit more, a bit more effective, braking, power, and it's a bit of a superfluous one, but I just think it would really finish off the dash really nicely and make it colour. Just Gucci the bike up just that little bit more. They're about 700 quid, about in the high end 600s, which I think is not too bad for a full colour dash. And crucially, it's the same shape as this, and it's it's basically the same size. So I might try and see if they'll let me have a go on one, but to be quite honest, I think I probably need your guys' help for that, because if that's the kind of thing that you think, yes, I absolutely must have one of these on my MT-10, then I can probably talk them into at least getting one fitted and giving it a try. It does everything that this dash does, absolutely everything. It can read all the traction control and bits and bobs and whatnot and trips and gosh knows what else, and just looks utterly boss. So yeah, so if send me some replies or whatever, and if enough of you say, yeah, I want to know what it's like because I quite like it for my MT-10, then I shall get on the case with AIM and see what they say. We can only ask and we can only see, but I'm happy with that, to be honest, but the other one is pretty Gucci. In other parts news, the sports screen from Yamaha is on order. Now, I have also asked for some brush guardy type knuckle guards, but I don't know if I'm having second thoughts about it. I'm considering, because I'll be riding this all through the UK winter, I am considering actually just getting the heated grips put on instead of the guards. I don't want this to look too much like an adventure bike type thing, if you know what I mean, because I want it to be what it is, which is a gnarly naked lunatic. So anyway, we'll see about that. But otherwise, so yeah, so far well happy with the new SP can. There's a power command. We're still waiting for Power Commander to come from Power Commander. Don't have a time scale on that. Hopefully it'll only be a week or so I'll be able to get this on the dyno. I'll get this on the dyno, see what this can does. Then we'll get the Power Commander on, and then I've got the M4 can, which I saw the other day, and it's lovely. M4 can and YPs to go on as well. And at some point I'll try and get out and get some more riding videos done on this. Just not had the chance, but we'll get around to it eventually. But yeah, keep replying, keep coming up. Some of you have come up with some great tips. Some people have been getting in touch with all sorts of things. Even some guy about my problems with the seat has a solution to that. So you lot are doing my job for me a lot, which is great. Thanks. Anyway, so yeah, keep emailing, keep sending questions, keep telling me things you want us to try, and if we can get around to it, I will. And we'll catch you next time. Bye. Right, stay there, don't go anywhere. Since filming that last bit, we have now discovered that Yamaha Intermot launched the MT-10 SP that comes with electronic OLED suspension, and obviously, as I was discussing just a moment ago, a nice flash dash from the R1, which is all well and good, although I imagine there are probably some MT owners out there that are pretty gutted that they've already bought this one. We've no idea on price yet, but I imagine it's going to be, it can't be cheap with that suspension on it. We expect the MT-10 to probably go up by about 500 quid here in the UK, maybe, still unconfirmed at the moment. That's the standard one. So a rough guess, 12.5, maybe 13 for the MT-10 SP, but we'll see. In that regard though, again, as I said, do get in touch if you want to see another screen on this, because I imagine there will be some other owners out there who would like to Gucci theirs up. Hi Charlie.
Hello, mate.
Are you going to show your bum?
No.
You sure?
No.
Is this a bum-free zone in this vlog?
I could go full frontal for £5.
A full frontal for a £5? You've doubled your price, mate. It's great, isn't he? Oh, Charlie. Yeah, as I was saying, so I'd still like. One thing I will say is we know the electronic suspension on the R1 is pretty good, and it's the same stuff on the MT-10 SP, so it will be good. However, with the adjustments we did make on this, we know we can get this pretty close to ballpark, and that's without even tailoring it. So do let us know. Let us know what you think of the new MT-10 SP, and yeah, keep getting in touch. And anything else, send me an email or do some things, or just lastly, a load of people have been asking when this was going to come out, because it's been a couple of weeks since we've done stuff, but the response has been really good.
to these videos, and to be fair, to most of our videos on our YouTube channel, and that all comes down from help from loads of people like Mr. Gawler, etc. But you know, always remember we've got magazines to do, and Facebook and website and all that kind of stuff. And where there used to be a whole crew of us just making a magazine, there are 2 of us now with a bit of help from Mr. Fagan and stuff. So we can't get around to doing these things as often as we'd like, but we will endeavour to keep pumping them out. But just a bit of patience, and hopefully we'll keep going with it. Should have this MT-10 until some point in next year, maybe May, June, maybe. I'm not quite sure. So I don't know. Should I now try and make this as good as the MT-10 SP? Is that the new thing? Doing it on the cheap, so suspension already done, dash for another 700 quid. Try and upgrade this maybe to get it somewhere close to the spec of the MT-10, but at a much reduced price. I don't know. Let us know. But for the moment, thanks for bearing with us, and we'll speak to you again next time. Bye.